I hate you, Plankton.
I hate you, Krabs.
Just kidding, I love you.
I love you too. And meanwhile, poor Dan is like, what is going on in my life?
It's a spiraling torrent of pain and misery.
Where we basically learn that that castle is merely just a front. This is Zarok's real lair, where he practiced. I'm sorry, I have to say, we practiced one of the most dastardly magics of all.
Technology.
Yeah,
Zarok
Zarok seeks
seeks
to expand his reach beyond behind the
Just
client's
look where
time.
we
Just
could go. Modern London,
London,
Egypt. The possibilities are a sequel.
if
Sorry,
they go
I
around
wanted to read. I should have said something, but I wanted to read that in Lonnie Manila's
Sorry.
voice.
Well,
Anyway,
Sorry,
I was going to say, thank you, obligatory MediEvil 2 callback.
yeah, I was about to
Thank
say,
you
because that
too.
basically is like a callback to the second game when it points out England and Egypt.
Right,
Gotcha.
and when we get to the last level, because that'll have its own loading screen, you can read that one.
Okay.
Sorry, by the way.
So,
It's okay.
no, you're fine.
I'm sorry. I'm
Yeah.
sorry too.
there's a lot of as you can imagine, in a place called the Time Machine or Time Device.
Using a dark magic called science, Zarok has constructed
Yeah, so as you're seeing, we need this level's gonna have a lot of machinations in it, but as with all of the levels kind of limited by the PlayStation 1, it's not a terribly big level, but it finds ways to keep you traveling around.
Also, contrary to the idea behind this level, it doesn't really take us back in time. It's just more like, it's honestly just the whole theme around the level more than an actual practical device.
Whoa.
Yeah, and he also has some of those weird automaton soldiers again.
Like,
But
by the time we're done with this, we kind of just dropped the whole subplot that Zarok actually considered the idea of time travel.
yeah, which thank goodness.
I
Although
feel
we
like
have
that's
fun
a
with that in the
stretched
next part.
concept.
Although I know we have fun with that in the sequel. At some
Oh yeah,
point, maybe.
well the funny thing about that is that technically it's not even so much an actual time traveling plot. We literally do get revived way into the future.
Yeah.
Well, he's not even talking about that, just like something that happens to one of these side characters.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
So, the whole big gimmick of this stage is that there's going to be some doors that we come across later that are going to be completely locked out. Like, oh, okay, have killed that guy. Like, they're going to be completely locked out, and a giant, not giant, a small clock is going to float by the door. And don't worry, I'm going to be smart. I'm going to know how to bounce and not just try and do the dash thing that SGB did, which did look impressive. So whenever we go by one of these doors, which should be one up ahead, past this guy, pay attention to what time it says. So,
Alright, so
hour hand at 10 and big
10:55.
hand at 11. Yep, so I need to now go back to the clock, and change it so it says 10:55.
Yep.
All right.
Big hand
11.
right there.
Little hand, and 10. There we go.
There
It's
you
now
go.
locked, and I can now exit the next part. And I'm going to go through most of the stage before completing the spirit because
Ow. Ow.
Okay,
Okay,
You're
come
not
on.
being
Eight.
patient.
Now.
There you are.
So, the spirit, the lost soul that wanted me to come to this level, his quest is going to be something like, hey, can you set the big hand and little hand to the number of brains and the number of, I think the number of flying eyeballs or number of,
Ah.
it's something. So it's a number puzzle, which I already know the answer to because it's always constant. I'm just killing all the small things so I can hopefully get that chalice percentage up because yeah, this will be the final chalice of the game.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Hope it gives us a sweet reward.
Spoiler
That'll
warnings,
be.
it won't. You already got all the good shit.
There's only we are missing 2 life bottles.
Oh yeah.
I thought.
Oh wait, yeah, because we have 7. There are 9 in total.
Wait, which one did you miss?
Well, I can tell you that I think one of them is going to be in this level. And I
Oh
think
yeah,
the other one is one of the. Oh
here,
jeez.
but the other one's in the previous level.
Whoa.
Yeah, careful all those.
No, I think the other one is from the. Hang on. So the way this works is I have to activate this to freeze time. I don't. Okay, real talk. I don't know. Yeah, real talk. I don't know how to solve this puzzle. I was just remembering how SGB solved it. I don't know why you have to freeze time to keep the lasers from hitting you or whatever.
Because if the lasers are on, they'll drag around and
Oh,
they can
hello.
potentially hurt you.
Logan, you're up.
Oh, hi.
It is I, Sir Sloane, the Dragon Smiter. You know how many dragons I've smote? Well, none yet, but we could change that to the dragon statues of Zarek's Hall. And with that, if I fulfill this dude's quest, I will have fully completed the loop and ended up where I began.
Wow, you literally are going full circle in this route.
which I love. And oh crap, gotta set it to
8:05.
7:05.
Oh yeah,
8:05,
basically, once you take out that force field, you can take that that path that we're about to take.
The brains are so squishy.
They're bouncy.
Bouncy brain.
And done. Go over here, and we will find our
What should be
Almost
your
our
last life
last-
bottle, but you, apparently you missed one.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I missed one.
Yeah, there's
feel like
supposed
I
to be
did.
9 in total.
So which again I think may be. Oh yeah, let's use the clock now. Let's see. I think this was. I forget who this was.
This was you.
Eh.
You're placing
Oh.
2 of them.
Crap. If I recall correctly, the big hand should be set to the number of force fields, and the little hand should be the number of brains. The force fields, if I recall correctly, there were. Okay, well the big hand there was that many. There's this number, and then there should be I think 3. Oh, 2.
There you go.
At last, I'm stuck in that clock no more. Now that I'm free, I can finally work on my pirate accent. Matey.
Matey.
Cool.
Mate.
Awesome. Alright, let me set it back to the time I need to so I can progress, because you have to do this every time if you want to move through a gate.
Yeah, this is unfortunately the most tedious part.
There we go. But I mean, it's something. I know I've probably said this already too much, but now that I've been able to experience this game on PlayStation 4, I do think this game is a pretty inventive little platformer venture.
Oh, of course. And, like, it's definitely got some imagination backing it up. It's just that the only big drawback is that its gameplay is a little on the rusty side.
Yeah, I almost wonder if there's a way that they could like maybe have a best of both worlds, because I think what you showed off of what they did with Resurrection had some cool ideas in its gameplay.
I do think it did a slightly better job with its lockout mechanic than this game does.
Right.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
like
and-
basically, it's like from what I tend to hear about Resurrection is that mechanically it's a well-made remake. It's just everything else.
It's the
I
writing.
mean-
It's just the writing that gets on people's sore spots.
And for all I know, who knows? Maybe, hear me out, maybe they could actually do something like actually like make it into like a Dark Souls-ish kind of thing where like they really polish up the combat, but not have it be as hard as Dark Souls, but like, you know, have a really nice polished combat.
So
as opposed to
basically,
just kind of
so
flailing
challenging but
wildly.
fair.
You know, I'm not
guess
gonna
so, yeah.
lie. I thought the route you were gonna take was saying that they could do a remake of the remake.
No, I think this is about as good as I could see a reimagine. Well, that's the thing. It's not a reimagining. It's more or less just a very, very well done port.
Yeah, in some instance, yeah.
I mean, okay, I guess we can talk about that. How to say it? Like, a very well polished, very well
Out of all the remakes,
Painted?
it is the most straightforward.
yeah. Because I know Crash Insane added some new things, like, you know, some new like quality of life changes to the first game.
Pyro
thank
definitely
God.
fixed a few things.
Oh, definitely.
And I mean, I'll say to this remake's credit, like, it's not completely like a one-to-one port. Like, they do make a few decent enough quality of life improvements. Like, again, not having being able to switch between 2 weapons on the fly. That's actually pretty handy.
That is true. Yes, that is a very.
And
nice,
I hear
handy
from
little
some
change.
people that the controls are a bit tighter compared to the original.
Oh, they are. They definitely are.
Especially since I have full control. Hang on, push it back. Especially since I have full control. I don't know if the original make use of the.
I believe the original game
DualShock?
did. It did have some 3D control in it, if I remember correctly, but it was still a little herky-jerky.
I was about to
Gotcha.
say, I think it was also before DualShock was made.
I think DualShock was just coming out around this time.
Gotcha.
So
Yeah.
I don't think MediEvil could have taken advantage of it. Like
Because
Ape
the
did.
movement. Because the movement feels nice. So Jordy, I don't know. I guess I should ask because I forget if I'd already asked prior. Jordy, did you ever have any exposure to MediEvil prior to us showing you all this?
The only thing I can think of as far as exposure goes, there's Boneheads, but the very first thing that I got exposure out of it, I think it was PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale.
That's fair. That's honestly where I got most of my. That's honestly where I was first introduced to the idea of who the heck Sir Dan was, and I thought he was still weird in that. But
Yeah, it's
looked
like
nice.
I remember that like introducing me. Well, not like introducing me, but reminding me of a few things. Like it's because of that I remember like Spike from Ape Escape, Rappa the Rapper.
Weird cat
That's
thing.
where I was reminded that Heavenly Sword was a thing.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I wonder. I'm trying to figure out though, like, because all their specials are supposed to be related to something bad. So, wait, good. So I got the chalice, and we escaped the level because I cut out a lot of me running back and forth. So
our final visit to the Hall of Heroes, and
with
the gargoyle
all
will
20 chalices.
You prove us all wrong. Maybe it is destined to be a hero. Maybe it can defeat Zarok.
Yeah.
The people of Gallowmere may never know of your past mistakes, and you will indeed be remembered as the people's hero.
Yay.
For reals.
Your time in exile is over. Welcome to your new home.
After we take care of one last little mess we left, but
Oh,
for now I have
Can't
one
we see
more.
your new statue first?
And I have important things to deal with. All 20 of them.
Well, while he's making a mess of things, let's also make a quick reminder that now that you've got all 20 chalices, you are guaranteed the best ending of the game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Woohoo!
Which is great. That is how you get the best ending. And wait.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
We
it's like,
have our own
but,
here. We have our own statue.
but he looks at it and he goes.
Threw it down. It messed up my nose, but okay. So a couple things. So the statue that's in the human's graveyard, I don't understand that one that actually shows us in a skeletal form, but this statue I totally understand because I like to think of it as the statue depicts you as you were when you attained like hero shit.
Yeah.
Herohood. There we go, our last life, Bob.
Oh, that's right. She gives it to you. Okay, never mind. You did get something worthwhile for getting all the chalices.
We're all full up. But yeah,
Okay.
so I think it makes sense in this context of, hey, that is how we looked technically when we became a true hero, so that's why the statue shows us skeletal like.
I mean, the more I stop and think about it, like the way they could have changed like the initial statues, like maybe have it so that its head is blown off, so that you don't actually.
I can see that, like as a cheeky little nod to all the destruction that's also happening.
Right.
So with that said, we shall take the train.
Also.
Oh wait, no. Oh, that's right. Gotta return.
Oh,
the last
right.
lost
Gotta
soul.
deliver that last
Oh
soul.
yeah!
But I will also say
So-
that it was actually a good thing you got that last bottle as soon as you did, because you're gonna need it big time.
Oh yeah, full health. And here we go. So Sloan the Dragon Slayer. Time to slay us some dragons. On guard.
Day.
But it's just dragon toads.
Wait a minute.
Remember, these are what the dragons were reincarnated into.
Little
I
dragon
forgot about
toads.
that.
I totally forgot about that.
Or excuse me, not reincarnated. They evolved.
Evolved.
Into these things.
Ah.
That's
see?
why they
Oh.
tell you not to lick the toads.
It was just a bunch of dragon toads. No matter. I'll collectively I'll count those as one dragon.
And
Cool.
with that,
And ha.
You would like something special or main menu.
Oh, and listen.
Legends are often not as crystal clear as the current world in which
Nah, a little pixely.
time can make things fuzzy, but the people of Gallowmere will remember you fondly nonetheless.
So what that basically
Yay!
means is that if I were to ever go back to the main menu, it will say continue, load game, new game, and old game, because for
Okay.
completing all of the lost souls, you can now unlock an entirely playable version of the original PlayStation 1 titled MediEvil.
yeah, the very original game.
nice.
And all of its pixely, low-res goodness.
And I mean, I think. Oh, here you go. Oh, wait, hang on.
Alright.
Go ahead, Jordy.
Zarok may be backed into a corner, but he has 1 or 2 more tricks up his sleeve. Maybe even 3.
Yeah, let's bank on that last bit, because, yeah, Zarok's Lair is painful.
Yeah.
It is the final boss, and it has quite a few little tricks to what we have to work on, as the description says.
And hope you
But,
I hope you've more or less filled yourself to max.
Yeah, this is going to be the true
Never
test.
thought you'd get this far. Your final encounter with Zarok awaits.
At first, I was like, wait, where'd the gargoyle go? Oh, he's on the right.
Yeah.
That would have been. Were you expecting like the giant skull there to be the gargoyle?
That'd
Yeah,
be
I was
crazy.
like, wait, where'd you go?
Real talk, I feel like it would have been more powerful if, like, the gargoyles was actually inside one of the eye sockets,
Oh, that'd be cool.
masquerading as the
The-
giant skull.
Oh, that'd be cool because how it lights up when it starts talking. It would like illuminate the end. Ooh, yeah, easy. So that said, we're gonna take out all of our equipment and make sure we're all prepped because yeah, this is gonna be this is the true final test of this whole grueling journey. So yes, I'll equip a spear for ranged combat.
Okay.
And keep your magic sword, because you're going to need it. Well, okay. So you're not going to need it now, because this part is going to be a little obnoxious for one reason we'll get into in a bit.
Zarok. Hi.
What?
Have had you? Where is he?
Where is he? Zarok?
I think we're early. He buggered off.
Typical musicians union.
Typical magicians union. Well, we'll just. Oh no, let's get in there.
I'm early.
Sir Fortescue, my old nemesis.
Yeah, remember him?
So we meet again. I see that a century spent as worm food has done nothing to diminish your naive obsession with the freedom of Gauntlet.
A whole army of undead troops.
And they're beefy.
My God.
I mean, granted, they had no
Very.
beef on them, but still.
They're so beefy that I don't think Sir Dan can be able to take them on his own.
I want the dogs
Yeah.
gnawing marrow from those bones within the hour. Ah! What is that, Fortescue? Your lucky cup.
No, it's the chalice. Oh, that's right. I collected a lot of these, haven't I? So using the chalice, I don't know if this actually is dependent on how many chalices you collected, but for the sake of plot, I use the chalices I've collected to amass my own army.
Oh.
And its principalities.
And so
But yeah.
basically, that lightning that you got, it's going to be very useful here, because you're not going to fight these skeletons directly. These green guys are going to do the fight, and you pretty much have to sacrifice your own health to make sure they have
upper
enough
left.
health to live out the battle.
So yeah, so you see in the upper left, and there's an achievement you can get for not losing any of them. And as mentioned, keep an eye on their color. Like, oh geez, yellow ones need a lot more health, and you'll replenish them. And as James mentioned, to have every life ball you need, otherwise this can get ugly very fast.
I honestly think this would be next to impossible if you didn't even bother with chalices.
Oh yeah. Also, don't worry about it being too hard, because as SGP shown, once some of these guys go down, your buddies will gang up on the remaining ones real fast, and they win.
Yay!
Wow. You certainly pulled this off better than I did, and they disintegrated into life files.
They gave you back their lives.
So I'm all back.
Fortescue, let us
Wait,
see how you fare.
you were always fortunate in battle, Fortescue, despite the fact that you weren't ever even in a battle.
Supplement.
He doesn't know that. So
For all
now
Yeah.
we must fight his champion, Kardok, the man that Kenny Tim shot the head off a long time ago.
Talk about dumb luck on Candy's end, because look at this guy.
He's not gonna go down easy. So yeah, first phase, the boss fight.
Here we go.
Run. Because he's gonna have a lot of projectiles, and I would almost recommend. Hang on, I want my spear, because ranged weapons are the best bet because of his horse being on fire.
Right.
Yeah.
Not to mention, and unfortunately, he will spawn the occasional nuke, so be on the ready for that.
Yep. So we're just gonna wait for him to fly into the arena and charge an attack.
Dude,
That could be better.
dude.
Yeah, I think I should just go. Oh, jeez. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna hang on to that little life vial until I need. Oh, jeez.
I think you would probably be better suited using your magic longbow for this.
Yeah, I think you have a point.
Because I think it's about as powerful as a spear, and you have just a little more ammo by comparison.
Oh, and it's faster too. You're right. Because yeah, this is nice, but
The spear kind of
I can-
outlived whatever usefulness it had, like, a while ago.
Yeah.
And
Nuts.
usefulness.
Yes,
It helped me a lot with the demonettes, but
that's fair.
yeah.
I mean, I will say that's probably the one downside to this game. Like, I mean, weapons clearly have, like, there's clearly some better weapons that are better than others, but by the time you get certain weapons, you already have better alternatives, or you don't really need them at the end of the day. So,
Well, definitely,
stuff
I
like the
definitely
spear
think
does
it-
feel kind of redundant.
Well, I definitely think it has oh jeez, I definitely think it has some inspiration from Castlevania with all the various weapon types you can get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Dang.
Ow.
Hey.
Bugger off.
Okay, yeah, this is getting a little bit crazy. So, yeah. Okay.
Ooh,
Ask Logan,
gosh.
switch weapons.
I know. He's working on it. He's had a long
your-
day. It's been a really rough
Dang it,
day.
sir,
at
Dad.
work.
Pull out your magic longbow.
I'm sorry, Logan. Like, you talked
What
about
the?
that. Like,
You saw that.
Oh, the enemy shift. Oh, the enemy back at his feet pushed him.
But yeah, I was just about to say, you were talking about how, like, yeah, I'm working on it. I've had a long day. I'm just thinking back to, I miss my wife.
Oh,
I miss my wife, Tails.
that would be
It
honest.
just came out of nowhere.
I know it would. You know, now that I stop and think about it, I know there wouldn't be much room for it. I wonder what it'd be like if that whole team actually did a medieval thing.
I'd be down for that. I think it'd be cool.
It'd be
I
kind of
don't know if they...
amusing. Like, I'm trying to think of who would be whom.
Who would be?
There we go.
Okay, he's dead.
And
All right, watch your language.
I will admit, I do, as much as I like this, I did find it a bit funnier in the original, where he just stood there doing nothing, just going...
he just looked dumbfounded. Yeah, because he looked so dumbfounded and so... Oh. What's he doing?
Oh, something with a chicken.
No, not that spell.
Come on. Get on with it. A sheep?
Oh.
Oh, not right now.
What?
I don't even want to know.
Let's not ask what's behind the curtains.
So he uses a spell to very casually, you know, it's just just a typical Monday for him. Turn to a monster.
Oh no.
He kind of looks like the.
Shall defeat the mighty Zarok.
Oh,
Ah,
Yeah, he'll get over
still some after effects.
you know, in a way, he kind of looks like the Scrap Jabberwock boss.
He does.
Kind of.
So now I'm going to equip a couple things. First
Actually,
off,
think about it in hindsight.
Oh,
equip
yeah,
the mighty
like-
shield. And
Thank
fine, magic
you.
wombo.
Yes, you gotta go with the magic shield.
You know,
Get
think
the
about it in
magic
hindsight.
shield.
If they had to scrap the Jabberwock sequence like that, and they're just making a little cutscene, why not just have it be brought back for this portion?
How
That'd
do
be
we know
cool. Like
that's not
have
what
it.
they did?
Or you know, just
Maybe.
just have them turn straight up turn into the Jabberwock.
I'd be down for that. Otherwise, yeah, as you're noticing, be very careful around Zarok because apart from his freaking ADs over here attacking me, he can deal a lot of damage if I'm not ready for it.
Oh yeah, no, this fight right here can be fun, can be very devastating, especially if you don't have that many health vials left.
Yeah, so be very careful with managing your health in the previous fights, and oh geez, then he can do this.
Oh my goodness.
Dashing, dashing, dashing.
And yeah, and good to see that you're making some good liberal use out of your golden shield now.
It's
Yep.
like, where's Sir Daniel? Where's Sir Daniel? My shield is not as useless as you think, is it?
I told you! You all saw it!
I told you it's shield, but you didn't believe me.
Why did you believe me? And we done it!
Oh.
Aha, beefs.
You thought the biggest savior of this whole day was with the magic sword, and I say 9!
It really wasn't. We used the magic wombo and haha.
Yet if I am to fail, then all shall perish. You are doomed, Fortescue.
Honestly,
You
he's
will never leave
taking this rather well.
Because he feels he'll have his revenge, so he's gonna capsize the entire castle on top of us.
Great.
If I'm going down, I'm taking everything.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh my god.
Well-
I kind of missed the squeaky toy sound from the original.
Wow.
That's
You
undignified.
think they... Every villain
Oh, boy.
forgets that if you're gonna take down everything, you're gonna kind of take down yourself too. But they always think,
That's how
whatever.
delusional he is.
So now we're kind of running because everything's about to fall. I still think, why is Sir Dan worrying so much? He's a skeleton.
Yeah.
But, you know...
Skeleton that doesn't want to be double dead.
Yeah, he doesn't want to die again.
Fine. So
It's a little
we
too
have to
soon
escape.
for me. Actually, if I'm going to die, I'm doing it in the crypt.
Fair enough. On our own time. And...
He just bumps
Let me
into the
see.
camera.
But thankfully... Thankfully, that friendly eagle from before helped us.
Ah, what a
Or a vulture.
What a friendly little vulture.
What a friendly little bottom
Get
feeder.
all the spirits.
There, yeah, all the spirits are returning. Hey, my place is over there. I'll make it right.
Alright.
Thank you. If you mention Krazoa Palace, I'll have your head.
Don't get your hip bones in a twist. What's a Krazoa?
And with that, we have saved Gallowir.
What was I doing? Where
Where
am
did I get so?
Where are
did
my
I get so-
pants?
I was gonna say, where am I? Where did I get so fat?
You were always like that, honey.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And We have finally saved all of Gallowmere for real, and can rest knowing that we truly have now earned the title of the hero that people hold us to be.
Also, the matter of fact that Zarok's magic is practically weakening, and, you know, that pretty much means for him.
Night, night. And he's just
Night, night.
and hey, now he really can be the hero he always wanted to be.
He actually is the legend.
Yep. And now I can go to sleep knowing that.
Boy, wouldn't this have been annoying if I had a weird, sassy genie instead of me?
Instead of me.
His eyeball fell into his skull.
Now, that's where the game would have ended if you didn't get all the chalices.
But since I did, we get to finally go to the Hall of Heroes to
Even though
spend.
we've been there,
We get to spend there of all time with its inhabitants,
Yep.
look at them all dancing about.
having a jolly old time.
Man, look at Katie Tim play that thing.
Look at Sterngard.
Busting some moves. Well, now everyone's waiting because the real hero hath returned.
Kind of with a weird fanfare, but hey, it's
Sup, everybody?
yeah, this look will grow on him.
Wait. Whoop.
Whoa! Serve me up, Raven Hooves.
You got it, Sir Dan. Drink up.
Aw. It's funny because he has no jaw.
He'll
No lower jaw.
He'll figure it out. But, and honestly, yeah, that.
And if you're wondering where the Hall of Heroes has been all this time, there you go.
it's like a Mount It's like a Mount Olympus kind of deal.
Speaking
And
of space.
look, he gets his own Hercules-esque constellation. So yeah, that being said, that was the remake of the remastering of MediEvil for PlayStation 4, and this was I remember when they announced it like years ago, and like they had some sample footage and stuff. I was curious and I was interested because up until that point, my only exposure was again PlayStation All Stars and Kid Icarus, and as with all the others, Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, as with all that stuff, I'm very thankful to have the opportunity to experience it for myself on current gen. Unlike Crash and Spyro, I doubt this will ever get a Switch port because...
Oh god, dude,
first parts.
Sony completely owns this property. Of course they're not
Right.
gonna do that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, for the fact that it's there, and I'm happy for it to be there. Jordy, what did you think?
I really liked it. Like I said, I had a bit of a late exposure to it. Although maybe my brother might have played it when I was younger. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe I might have seen his face on like the box cover before. But
Right.
like my real exposure to this was, during the other stuff, and seeing it like remastered in this game was quite an experience. I gotta say that. I liked that it was Tim Burton-esque. I liked that, they went off of that, and just overall, it seems like a really fun game.
Awesome. How about you, Hype? What did you think of seeing it all again?
I liked it. Like, I'm definitely glad that it got to join the likes of all the other characters that are getting a second chance at a nice shiny port, or
Yeah.
nice shining remake. And I do agree that, like, by a lot of qualities, it definitely feels like a much better alternative than Resurrection. Honestly, I think it's just as good as the original.
Yeah, I think so too. I know. Like for instance, I know Caddy had some thoughts about like there are some parts where it kind of sinks, but I consider it to be as good, if not better, than the original. I don't think it's worse.
Well, that's the thing. He didn't think it was worse. He just thought it was as good.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, I agree with that. James, what did you think?
I guess to add on to that last statement, I mean, it also helps too that if you want to, you do have both options in this one package.
Oh yeah, no,
Which
that's
is something I will definitely give over every other insane treatment sort of game yet.
True. Because I think that the fact that if you ever add that, I think that alone is what can elevate your remastering into the definitive way to experience a game.
Absolutely.
Because you basically get everything. You get to experience all of that for all in one like package. And again, for the fact that this game was like what $30 or something when it came out, I think that was a really good price.
It was $30 for the base game.
yeah, I think that was a really solid price.
I mean, honestly, think about it. It honestly makes up for the fact that like it's $30, even though it's for one game, quote unquote.
Right.
Because you know, the Insane Trilogy and Reignite Trilogy were like technically 3 games for the price of like $40.
Well, you know what? If you want to be
that's
technical, if you want to be technical, considering the reward you get for the Lost Soul Spirit, you're technically buying 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get. Okay. I guess the main thing I could argue with that then hype is that whereas with Crash and Spyro you're getting 3 completely different games. This is you're getting 2 games in very different. But that all being said, again, I seriously saw a lot of passion going into this. As said before, I thought it was a really, really cute idea of having all very surprising to have all the original voice work being used. And
I'm surprised they were able to be honest.
right,
It's such a clean state because like if you look back on the original game, that all that dialogue was very echoey and muffled to a fault.
well, it had to be. Oh yeah, it had to be compressed and stuff because of when it first came out. But that being said, like I mean, we've already seen before of like. It's so like you always hear all the stuff like with the Silent Hill remasters, like we lost all the files, we don't have them anymore.
You know what? Now that you say that, even though I am thankful that they reused the audio from this, I have a feeling that Crash and Spyro Pierce are gonna look at that and go, well, if it's so easy, why can't you do that in Master Clancy Brown's Cortex again?
It's called creative differences.
Yeah,
I know. I'm just saying. I'm sure there's someone that would have done that.
Oh,
I know.
Who's to say they haven't already?
It was a very, again, that's why it was such a surprising little twist for them to do. It's like I'm okay with games that they want to like re-record, they want to like try and update everything, and I think that the voice cast for Insane and Reignited gave it their all. I'll agree with Caddy in the bit in that I think in Reignited they kind of de-exaggerated some of the voices to kind of make it more.
I would say it's only noticeable with like the very minor NPCs, like all the main characters. I think were pretty much on point.
I know they sound just like as I remembered them too. All the voices sound fitting, but yeah, I think something about how they handled this game is like it almost like music. Where's the music? There it goes.
There it is. We just had to change the radio for a bit.
Sorry, I was like, wait, did I miss something? No, okay. These credits are also fairly long, which I'm trying to like help pad this out. That's because it's typically the case.
I mean, honestly, I'm surprised you didn't just speed past it all. Just have it end after that first musical bit.
He anticipated us blabbing on.
I thought there was gonna be more to talk about, considering we never really did a big full thing for the first MediEvil, but for the actual original. But
well, I'll just go ahead and say real quick. I mean, going back to my thoughts, I'm pretty much on the same boat that thinks that as far as remakes go, like the only real damning thing about this game is that they didn't push harder to make it a little more smoother to come to compared to the original game. Like it still has the same quirks of the original. If not not quite as bad, but otherwise, like everything else, I'd say is relatively solid.
Oh yeah, no, and I think in terms of giving someone the chance to experience this game for the first time, I always appreciate that. I always appreciate the idea of expanding your audience and reintroducing it to a new generation of players. So. And I still, and by the way, as we're hearing right now, I also love just how much care went into like upping the musical quality of this experience, like keeping the original compass.
The original music was pretty much, honestly, it's pretty much the exact same quality, if not a little better than what we got with Resurrection.
Which I think, unless I'm mistaken, they were the same composer, right?
Yeah, the exact same sound team.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if it's not immediately obvious with how some of the songs sound, they almost sound like they were ripped straight from Resurrection, though you can hear the little nuances that show. No, they actually did redo these from the ground up.
Oh yeah, but like, and I think I already mentioned it like multiple times, in which case I apologize, but I think that the fact that they were able to use the original recordings from like, what was it, the 90s?
Yeah, late 90s, because I do know the first one came out in I think 2001.
The first
one?
No,
I meant to say the second, I'm sorry.
Oh, the second one, yeah. The second one I think was 2000. The first one was mid to late 98.
Dang.
But actually, one other thing...
The fact that they used those and that it helped... I was just going to finish my thought saying, like, the fact that they used those and that it still holds up is, like, a testament to, I think, just the style of this game. Like, I feel like it's aged very well.
Uh-huh. Well, it's aged better in the fact that they're actually not using... They're just not taking the sound bits from the original game and just splicing it on here. No, they actually somehow still kept the original audio from the recording sessions and spliced it in. It's like, yeah, good job.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. But as you were saying, James.
One thing I will say before we do end off, it should still be said that, like, much like the other remake sort of stuff, it wasn't made by the original team. It was made by a studio in Emeryville called Other Ocean. Yeah, pretty close to Logan and I, actually. And, like, it's kind of funny, considering, like, the main team behind the MediEvil games for the longest time were down in Cambridge.
Oh, yeah, no, they had, like, a pretty much, like, as far away as they could get at the moment, like, physically, but I think they did a solid job. But between this and I don't know, like, maybe between this and Shadow of the Colossus, like, it's kind of introduced me to the idea of, like, you don't technically need the original company to remaster something, as long as you just have a nice, competent team that can identify what made the original work.
Well, to be fair, you could also apply that to, like, Insane and Reignited, and I'm trying to think if there were, like, any other, like, really good remakes that came out.
That's true.
Well,
I thought Reignited was... Oh, go ahead, James.
The point of the matter here is that if you have the right kind of people, then you pretty much can deliver on something that would be held to similar regard as the original source.
Right.
Yeah. It's all about how you
look at
handle
the
it.
Sonic movie.
That is true. I still am,
Yeah.
like, super, like... Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm definitely looking forward to how they're going to follow up from that. Like, I'm not even talking about, like, a sequel to the movie. I just mean, like, Sonic in general, how they're going to follow up from that.
We'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still a big rumor going around that the next big project Sonic Team and Sega are making is a full-on reimagining of Sonic Adventure 1.
Which
I'd be down
I'm
for.
honestly... Considering how Adventure 1 in and of itself is, how Sega in and of itself is, and just how so devil-damned imprecisive the fan base has gotten nowadays, I'm almost afraid of how exactly an Adventure 1 remake would fare.
I can guarantee you that someone's going to be disappointed.
Oh, I'm sure.
But-
I mean, to be fair, that's kind of like the whole thing with Sonic, but we're not talking about Sonic. We're talking about MediEvil and the poor souls that were lost along the way.
Oh,
I didn't know he passed away. That's so
Yeah.
sad.
Which is so it is unfortunate. And also, I don't know what it is. Caddy mentioned it. I don't quite understand how it pertains to Other Ocean or to any of their other
Well,
projects.
it's more so the original team than Other Ocean, but yeah.
They,
an
they
apple.
like this. They like this apple with a hat.
I think it's supposed to be, like, I do know in the original game, with the original team, the apple was apparently, like, some kind of Easter egg that the developers, like, toying around with, and I guess out of respect, they put that in the remake, too.
Gotcha. So
Okay.
it's pretty much to MediEvil what's his name? The Insomniac director was for Insomniac.
Yeah, like, where they put him in a
Snowdan.
lot of Ratchet and Clank games.
Oh yeah, the Snow Dan, whatever his name is. But yeah, and again, I'll give him credit. I think so. Yeah, I guess honestly that hearing me out here, I almost would say like that in and of itself pretty much sums up what this experience is. That it's like I think this is definitely for like the big like.
MediEvil fans.
Yeah, I didn't want to say Die Hard because it makes it sound like a bit like
Yeah,
uncouth,
Die Hard
but-
for a game where you're playing as a dead man.
But it's very like it's. I think this was made with a lot of care with the fans in mind. And
I mean, even if you've never heard of this series before, I'd say those that are heavily into like Gothic inspired mediums will probably will find something to like about this game.
yeah, and I think I'm happy and hopeful that maybe this can help inspire others to kind of delve into that kind of like market a bit more. I love the idea of like it's not a truly scary game. It's just Gothic Halloween. It's like Halloween.
It's pretty much like Luigi's Mansion, where it's more of a theme than an actual
genre. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, any other things you want to say before we end it off, Jordy?
I'm not sure if I have anything to say on my part other than... Crap, what do they say in medieval times? It's a good... Fare thee well!
Okay. Till next time, guys.
See you all. If they ever decide to do the sequel, we'll be there.